Tell me who's dancing in your garden. I wanna know. Somebody me. I wanna know.
Every other XCOM game that's been out there has been set in the near future, whether that was the 1999 of the original version or sometime beyond 2013 of XCOM Enemy Unknown. We really wanted to take it from a different point of view. If those games have explored what it is for XCOM to be this global organization with satellites and situation rooms and all manner of activity already sort of set up as infrastructure, what was it like at the very beginning? How did this whole story start when the very first alien invasion came to pass? How did people figure out what to do and build an organization around that purpose? Our game explores that story. We did a lot of research into the period of the 1960s to make sure that we were getting the cars and the clothes and the details right, the signs and the architecture right for the period. It's a great period in American history. You know, you had that sort of that googie architecture with those big colorful neon signs and space age angles. So once we had the 1960s world built, we then had to think about what was happening to that world and that juxtaposition between the bucolic 1960s street of, you know, of a little sleepy town and the outsiders basically not only performing an invasion, but, you know, literally changing the face of the earth wherever they touched it. We had an entire team working on building out the backstory of these guys, the Zujari architecture, who they were, what they did, how they worked, in order to sort of inform that so that when the player sees it, they can glean a little bit of that story as well.
Get ready, they're near.
Our game is a third-person shooter with a heavy tactical element to it, and one of the things that allows you the kind of control you need in that setting is something that we call battle focus. It allows William Carter to basically step back from the action in real time without stopping time. There's still bullets whizzing by your head, but it allows you enough time to build a plan for your team that to basically assess the battlefield, figure out what tactical advantages and disadvantages you have, and deal with them. That could mean that you take an agent and say, I'm going to position you over here, I want you to target that guy, while I'm going to have my other agent flush out a bunch of enemies from cover, leaving them out of cover and giving me and this guy a better advantage in taking them out.
They're pushing! What do we do?
One of our biggest goals for the Bureau is to make sure that this is a game that demands skill from the player. If somebody comes in with their guns blazing and runs into the middle of the battlefield, frankly, they should be dropped. That's not, those aren't tactics that are worthy of an XCOM game. You need to be thinking strategically for both yourself and for your team. You need to be planning in real time, basically using every single thing you've got against this force that is much more advanced than the XCOM team and much more equipped. You have to be able to take what they have and use it against them, and use basically that you may be outgunned, but you can outsmart these guys.